Hello students of Standard 10. Welcome to Devi Moil Public School. I am your social science teacher Nitin Pushpatode. Students, let's begin an online session of social science. Today I will take the revision of nationalism in India part 2nd. Towards civil disobedience. That means students, how did civil disobedience movement start in India? Listen, Mahatma Gandhi in February 1922 decided to roll back the non-cooperation movement. Students, the Chowri Chowra incident occurred at Chowri Chowra in Uttar Pradesh on 4th February 1922. A peaceful demonstration in a bazaar turned into a violent clash within the police. The incident led to the deaths of 3 civilians and 22 policemen. Then Gandhiji felt that Satyagrahis needed to be properly trained before they would be ready for mass struggle. Mahatma Gandhi called hard to be non-cooperation movement. That means friends, after the Chowri Chowra incident, Mahatma Gandhi decided to call up the non-cooperation movement. It was stopped by the Mahatma Gandhi. Students, this decision of Mahatma Gandhi was objected by the other Congress leaders. They wanted to run non-cooperation movement against British. Students, some leaders within Congress were tried of mass struggle and wanted to participate in the election to the provincial council set up by the Government of India Act of 1990. They felt it was important to oppose British policies within the council. Students Chitranjan Das, Motilal Nehru, N.C. Kelkar formed the Swaraj Party within the Congress to argue for return to council politics. But younger leaders like Jawaharlal Nehru and Subhash Chandra Bose argued for more forceful mass agitation and for the full independence. Okay, after that was formation of Simon Commission. Under these circumstances, Simon Commission was constituted under the John Simon. That means under the presidency of John Simon, British government sent this commission. Its main objective was to review the functions of the constitutional system in India and suggest changes. Indian leaders opposed the commission. Why? Because in that commission there were no any Indian member. When the commission arrived in India in 1928, it was greeted with the slogan Simon, go back. All parties including the Congress and the Muslim League participated in the demonstration. That means many leaders and the organization of country they objected they objected the Simon Commission. Demand for Purna Swaraj. Yes, students, in October 1929, the Viceroy Lord Irwin announced an uncertain offer of dominance status for India and a roundtable conference to discuss a future constitution. Yes, students, who was the Lord Irwin? Listen, he was a Viceroy of India during the 1929. He announced an uncertain offer of dominance status for India for the round table conference to discuss a future construction and the constitution, not construction, constitution. Students, this round table conference was organized at England in 1931. First round table conference for what purpose to discuss a future constitution. Students, in December 1929, under the presidency of Jawaharlal Nehru, the Lahore Congress formalized the demand of Purna Swaraj or full independence for India. It was also declared that 26 January 1930. Students, under the Purna Swaraj strategy, Indian leaders celebrated the Independence Day on 26 January 1930 when people were to talk a place to struggle for the complete independence. Okay, students. So, through the Purna Swaraj, they celebrated 26 January 1930 as Independence Day. Next point is the Salt March and the civil disobedience movement. Okay, students, Mahatma Gandhi found that salt was a powerful symbol that could unite the nation. He wrote a letter to Viceroy Irwin urging 11 demands, which included the demand to abolish the salt tax. But students Arun was not ready to talk upon the demand. Then Gandhiji took the decisions to launch the movement. Then, after that, along with 78 followers, Gandhiji started his march from Sabarmati Ashram on 12th March 1930 of Gujarat from for Dandi. It's called the Dandi March. Okay, Dandi March started by the Mahatma Gandhi with 78 followers on 12th March 1930 from Sabarmati. Students, on 6th April, he reached Dandi and ceremonially violated the salt law. He manufactured salt law by boiling seawater. This marks the beginning of the civil disobedience movement. Students, through the Dandi March, Gandhiji appealed to the people. Foreign clothes were boycotted. Liquor shops were picketed. Peasants refused to pay revenue and chowkidari taxes. Yes, peasants refused to pay revenue and the chowkidari taxes. Village officials resigned. In many places, forest people violated forest laws. Students, worried by the ongoing movements, the colonial government began arresting the Congress leaders one by one. Yes, that entire activity was trying to object by the British government to repress the nationalist movement. Students, after some time, Mahatma Gandhi decided calling off the civil disobedience movement. Why? Why did this happen? What were the reasons behind that calling off the civil disobedience movement? Listen, peaceful satyagrahis were attacked, women and children were beaten, and about 1 lakh people were arrested by the British government during the nationalist movement. When a prominent leader Abdul Ghaffar Khan was arrested on April 1930, then angry crowd demonstrated in Peshawar and several violent incidents were reported. In such situation, Mahatma Gandhi once again decided to call off the movement and entered into a pact with Irvin on 5th March 1931. So this pact is called the Gandhi-Irvin Pact. Then after some time, students, again relaunching of the civil disobedience movement. In December 1931, Gandhiji went to London for the round table conference, but the discussion was of no use and he returned disappointedly. Back in India, he found that Congress had been declared illegal. Abdul Ghaffar Khan and Jawaharlal Nehru both were in jail. So Mahatma Gandhi relaunched the civil disobedience movement. This movement was continued for a year and lost its momentum by the year of 1934. So students, this was the Salt March and the civil disobedience movement. That entire conditions definitely depicts a message about the nationalist movements. Students, what were the limits of the civil disobedience movement? Listen, all social groups were not moved by the concept of Swaraj. The Muslims could not relate to this movement. Gandhi believed that Swaraj would not come for 100 years if untouchability was not eliminated. He organized satyagraha for them to secure their entry into temples and access to public wells, tanks, roads, and schools. Gandhiji himself cleaned the toilets to dignity, the work of Bhagi. Gandhiji urged the upper class to change their mindset regarding the untouchables. So students, we can say that these are the limits of civil disobedience. That means some social evils caused to break the civil disobedience movement. The sense of collective belonging. That means students, how did Indian leaders spread the ideas of nationalism among people? Listen, nationalist movements spread when people belonging to different regions and communities began to develop a sense of collective belongingness. It developed through the experience of united struggles. Many cultural processes also contributed to it. History, fiction, folklore, songs, popular prints, and symbols all played a part in the making of nationalism. It was seen in India during its freedom movement. Some ways about that, students, I am telling you. of sense of collective belonging. Listen, the identity of a nation is most often symbolized in a figure or image. This image of Bharat Mata was first created by Bankim Chandra Chattopadhyay in 1870 when he wrote Vande Mataram for our motherland. Yes, students, Vande Mataram. This was written by Bankim Chandra Chattopadhyay. Later, this song was included in his novel Anand Mat. Anand Mat, also students, was written by the Bankim Chandra Chattopadhyay and widely sung by the freedom fighter. Students, the image of Bharat Mata was first painted by the Abhindranath Tagore. Indian folk songs and folk tales sung by many poets played an important role for making the ideas of nationalism. In Bengal, Rabindranath Tagore and in Madras, Natesi Sastri collected massive collection of folk tales and songs which laid the moments for folk revival. So students, in such a way that folklore, songs, popular prints, symbols, culture, that entire all played a part in the making of the nationalism. That means these were trying to spread the ideas of nationalism among the people. Okay students, on the basis of today's revised portion, this is your assignment in such a way that the revision of this lesson is completed. Students, in the next online session, I will take the revision of new lesson. So students, till then, thank you very much and have a nice day.